Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd. So, my friends at yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we are going to work on the Tropical Flower Scrubby. It's like a dishcloth. It's recommending Red Heart Scrubby yarn. I know that you cannot see the stitches if I use that yarn, so I'm just going to be demonstrating today with Lily Sugar and Cream yarn. I'm also going to be showing you an alternative option to be able to show you how to do a waterfall stitch. This strand here goes all the way from here all the way to the interior, which is a big space. I'm going to show you an alternative waterfall stitch that's available to you. So if you want to do that, you'll need a 5mm size H longer Tunisian hook, or a hook that does not have a gripper on it in order to do that. So that's something that you can decide for yourself, or do it the way that it's suggesting. So I will leave that in your capable hands, and we're going to begin this next. And there is a crochet diagram that's available that I drew for you. And I was kind of confused about this pattern, the way that it was working, especially on round number 4. So what I did is that I diagrammed it out, that you can download it on my website if you wish, and you just can follow the link in the more information of this video, and you can get this as well to be able to help you do it. It's very much like the African flower stitch, and it's really quite awesome, and there's a total of 6 rounds. So without further ado, you'll need a 5mm size H crochet hook, and if you're going to do the waterfall stitch, a 5mm size H Tunisian or Afghan hook. It'll just help you out. Welcome to my channel, and I'm here to inspire you, give you crochet advice, and help you along with your next project. If you enjoyed this pattern, please give me a thumbs up or even comment so I can gauge your interest. It helps me to know what to film next. So let's begin your journey, and you're going to start off and you're going to chain 6. So I'm just using yarn that you could be able to identify all the stitches with. You can still use your Scrubby. I don't have an issue with crocheting with that yarn, but if you can't see your stitches in a tutorial, there's no point doing it. So chain 6 is to start. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then I need you to put your hook into the beginning chain, and then yarning over, pulling it through and through. And there is the starting of the middle of your dishcloth. So let's begin round number 1. Let's begin round number 1 using the same color, and put the straggler so that it traps around the ring so that it'll be hidden underside. So we're going to do and start chain 2, and you're going to place in a double crochet into the same ring. So because you started with a chain 2 and then did this double crochet, that's equivalent to a DC cluster. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So this is considered 1 cluster. We need a total of 8. So to do the next cluster, we have to chain 1, and we're going to apply then the DC cluster into the ring. How we do that is that we wrap the hook and we go into the ring. We pull through and pull through 2 and hold. Do not finish the stitch. I want you to wrap the hook and going into the ring again, and pull through and pull through 2. You can now see 3 loops. I need you to yarn over and pull through all 3, and that was an official DC cluster stitch. So there's 2 clusters out of 8. So chain 1 and do this again, the cluster. So wrap the hook and in, pull through 2 and hold, and then wrap the hook and in, pull through 2 and hold. You see 3 loops. Pull through all 3. That's another double crochet cluster, and now you have 3. So now I'm going to be quiet for the remaining of the round and just do what I'm showing you. So chain 1 and do your cluster work, and put chain 1s in between them. So if it were me and I were you, I would keep slamming in these clusters until you can count 8. So I have 1 cluster, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1 more. And before you're done, I need you to chain 1 after you do the last cluster, and I want you to attach it to the top here of the double crochet. Okay, so now the pattern is suggesting to pull a loop and leave it towards the back side of the work, and I want you to do that because that's what the pattern's going to suggest. But if we do the waterfall stitch, you're going to fasten off, but I'm going to give you both options when we get there. So let's just start then, and if you went over top of the straggler, the loose end like I was doing, then you can safely cut that down. If not, just use a tapestry needle to hide that in. So let's begin round number 2, and you're gonna start with another fun color. So the pattern states that you can go to any chain 1 space. Okay, so it can be, it's between any of the clusters. So just put this onto the hook with a slip knot and go into any chain 1 space and attach it. And now we're going to begin. You're going to chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, and in the same spot I need you to double crochet again. But we're not done for that spot. Make sure you go over top of the straggler and catch it underneath as well. So now you're going to chain 2, and in the same spot 2 more double crochet. Let that straggler fall to the back. I'll show you how to weave in your ends later. So now I want you to come to the next space after the next cluster and do the exact same thing. So you want 2 double crochet first. So remember that chain 3 counts as a double crochet. So 2 double crochet first, chain 2, and 2 double crochet. After that's done, go to the next space after the next cluster and do the same thing. So 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. So do this all the way around. This is round number 2, and I'll be back in a moment. So I happen to be passing over this. Just leave it on the back side of the work, and you just don't want to interfere with it. So make sure that you keep the spaces so that they're free of that. So don't accidentally crochet over top of any of the strands. Just leave them free and clear into the back. Okay, so this is considered the beginning cluster. It looks a little different than the rest of them, but just go with it. And then you come over here, make sure these are out of the way before you do the last one. We're gonna keep this color going for one more round, so we're not gonna worry about the one that we dropped before. So after you get the last one in, you're just going to slip stitch to the top of the chain 3, and then we're going to begin the next round. So let's start round number 3. So round number 3, we're in the wrong spot, so we need to get ourselves to the chain 2 space. So we're just gonna slip stitch our way over, and then you're going to chain a total of 3, which will be your first double crochet. And I need you to apply 5 more double crochet into that same spot. So with the chain 3 and these 5, it gives you a total of 6 double crochet. It's an important number. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you're just gonna immediately come to the next chain 2 space right over here, and you're going to apply 6 double crochet into that space. And that's all you're gonna do for this whole round. This is round number 3. It's basically 6 double crochets into each chain 2 space around. I'll have you do that, and I'll meet you back here in just a moment as we have finished this color, and I'll show you how the other part starts, and then I'll show you the alternative, what I would do if I were you and you were me. When you get all the way around, you have your 6 in here, and then you're just going to slip stitch to the beginning, the top of the beginning chain 3. This color is technically done, so I'm gonna weave in my ends at the end, but I'm just gonna cut this. And I'm going to show you the way that it's suggesting, and then I'm going to trim that yarn and show you the way that I think it can be done, that I think it might be nicer for you. So what I want to do is that I want to look for that loop here, and I'm going to use that to my advantage and show you how to do this stitch that they're asking us to do, and then I'll show you my alternative. What I'm about to show you is my personal preference, and you'll see in just a moment. So right where this is coming out of, I want to use that loop, and I want to pull it towards where that's on the front side. So just pull it back towards the front side, and once it's on the front side you can pull that down. So just pull that there and just pull on the strand so that it tightens, and what you're looking for is the height then to get yourself to this round, which is what you see. And what they're suggesting to us in the very last stitch here, okay, see this grouping of 6 in the very last one, it wants you to apply a single crochet. So just match the height, and so you're gonna pull through and then pull through. See, I believe that this here can be a snaggy thing on dishes, so that's just my own personal preference. So I'll show you how the remaining of the round is done like this, and then I'll show you my alternative. So I'm going to single crochet the next 5. So 1, 2, and the 5 are in the first 6 here. So there's just use the first 5 only. Okay, and once you have the first 5 in here, I want to do this, and when you do this you actually have to go down to this round here. Even though this is where this came out of, it's technically right in here. So in order to do that, you're just going to go in behind, so you go right into the center ring and you grab the yarn from behind and you pull through the center ring, and you keep pulling it until you get to the height of where this other one is. You see how it looks different? On Scrubby it would not be any different. It doesn't look like, but when you use different yarn like this, it's very obvious. So once you pull it up, you see the 2 loops, pull through the 2, and that's a long single crochet. So you can see in this yarn it makes a difference. So then you will go to the first one here. So here's the difference. So the first one here, you were then going to single crochet the next 2, and then chain 2, then you single crochet the next one, chain 1, and single crochet into the same one, and this will be a corner in the future. So let's just review one more time. So you're just gonna come and you're just going to single crochet the remaining, and then you're gonna come on down here. So you leave the last one of the grouping of 6 always out, go into the center of the ring, pull through, pull up, and you pull up to the same height and then pull through 2. And then starting in the first one, you will just do all the first 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then you have to come on down, and then you'll do the first 2. So 1 and 2, and then the third one here is a corner. So it's gonna be single crochet, chain 1, single crochet. So you'll notice every other petal will have that, and that's what's gonna turn it into a square. So here's what it's suggesting. I'm going to frog all this out, meaning to rip it out, and I'm gonna show you the way that I would do it if I were you and you were me. So if I were you and you were me, we have this loop, and what I'd recommend is cut your yarn. So let's get rid of that yarn completely and just pull that loop and pull that straggler through that loop and tighten it on there. I'll show you how to weave in the ends with the tapestry needle later. Let's start fresh on the outside, and I'm going to show you how I would do exactly what we just did, but using the waterfall stitch. The waterfall stitch attaches to each step as it goes down, and then it will come all the way back up. So I'm going to go very slowly to demonstrate how that's done, and you'll want to use your Afghan hook for that. So my Afghan hook is like a Tunisian hook, and you need the distance so that you can travel all the way down, so you have more room on your hook to play with. So let's turn this back. So this is on the right side, and let's begin this round, and I'll show you with the waterfall stitch. So this is the advantage of tutorial work. I can show you things that are not in the pattern. So let's put our Afghan or Tunisian hook on, and I want to go into the last one of a grouping of 6, and we're going to attach it. So just pull through and through. So what I'm about to show you is actually in the stitch along for spring, for the Joanne stitch along. This is a double crochet going down, and then it'll have a single crochet top. So to do this, we were using the fillet stitches in that stitch along. Here we're just gonna use the spacing. So to start this, let's go really slowly and I'll demonstrate. So we're going to place the hook, and we're not gonna wrap it first, and we're gonna go into the space towards the back side. And when we wrap the hook, we want it to cross over the hook 2 times. I'll hold. So cross over 2 times. You see it once and twice. When you're ready, just rotate the hook and pull this back towards the good side through that hole, and use your fingernail and push it down the shaft of there. Make sure that the order of those loops never change. And now I want you to come to the next open space and come down and come to the back and wrap it around so that you see it crossing over the hook twice. Once you're ready, pull towards the front of the side. So now what I want you to do is that I want you to go into this space right here. Okay, so it's between the stitch work. It would be here, here, you know, it's in between the two stitches. And you're just going to come to the back and you are going to turn the whole project over and spread it out on top of your hook. And you're going to pull through that space. Okay, just spread it out on your hook. I want you to yarn over and pull just through the two. It's like double crochet, so pull through the two only. And this time I want you to yarn over, pull through two, but this is that crossing beam, so I want you to pass through that as well. So yarn over, pull through those two and that space, or that beam space. You only ever have to do this 8 times, so it's not like it's gonna be that big of a deal. Yarn over, pull through two, yarn over, pull through the two and this space. And turn it over and yarning over, pulling it through two, and that was a single crochet top. So I'm gonna demonstrate that again, and let's try it again. So let me frog this out and show you one more time. So let's do a waterfall stitch. I'll demonstrate it again, and to go into, you want to play within the spaces, so go into the space and turn the project over and wrap it around your hook twice. Once you're ready, just pull through back to the front side and make sure that the loops never cross each over. See how it's crossing over like that? You want to make sure that they stay organized on your hook. Then you come into the next space to the back and rotate it so that you can see that it crosses here and here. And when you're ready, pull through. The next one, you want to go in and you want to split between the two double crochets, so just going into the back, and then turn the whole project over and spread it out on your hook. Because I'm starting with the starting strand, you can see that. So in order to get start, you're just gonna pull through that space that you just went through, and now you're just gonna double crochet yourself back to the top. So yarning over, pulling it through two, yarning over, pulling it through the two and the space, yarning over, just pulling through two, and yarning over, pulling it through two plus the space. Once you have that done, turn the project over. You can see the waterfall has happened, and then yarning over, pulling it through the final two, and that's a single crochet top. So it's a double crochet with a single crochet top. I'm now going to demonstrate the remaining of this as we go. So let's do it. So the first, you have the first 6, you're only gonna use the first 5 only, and you were going to put in 1 single crochet in each. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Once that's done, you need to waterfall yourself back down to here. So to begin a new waterfall, you come into this space, okay, and wrap the hook twice. Pull back to the front side, come into the next space, and you wrap twice. Come back to the front, and then split those 2 double crochets. So just going right in there, split it, and turn the whole project over and spread it out on your hook. Yarn over, pull through that space that you just went through, and now you're just gonna double crochet yourself back to the top. So pull through the next 2, pull through the next 2, which includes this space. Pull through the next 2 only, and then pull through the next two and this space. Turn it back over and then pull through the final two, and that's a single crochet top. So this particular petal here is going to be slightly different than what you know. So it's going to be a total of 2 single crochets in a row, so 1 and 2, and then the third one is going to have a point. It's going to have the corner, so it's going to be single crochet, chain 1, 1 single crochet. Okay, so one petal will have like a flat side and the other side will have this point, and so every other petal will have this, so you'll end up with 4 sides. So I'll show you one more side. So you're going to double crochet, or sorry, single crochet the next 2 only. I'm not used to using a Tunisian hook, so if you see me struggling a bit, that's why. Okay, so let's do a waterfall stitch going down. So I'll just speed up a little bit. Well, maybe a lot. Oops. So I got to keep it into the back side, don't forget. So yarning over, pulling it through that space, and spread it out onto the hook so you can see everything. So yarning over, pulling it through 2, yarning over, pulling it through 2 plus the space, yarning over plus pulling it through 2, yarning over, pulling it through 2 plus the space, and that brings me back to the top, and then finish it. Single crochet the next 5 only in a row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then waterfall back down in. So do you see why I chose the waterfall? You can leave me a comment. I chose the waterfall so that the waterfall stitches attaches all the way down instead of a long strand that will become a snagger on your dishes. You can also do this with your scrubby if you want. So if this side was flat, this side has to have the point like you had over here. So you'll have the first 2 as single crochet, okay, the next one is a single crochet, chain 1 and a single crochet, and there is your next corner. So then you'll single crochet the next 2 and then waterfall down. So I've already shown you how to do that, and you'll end up with, it almost looks like 4 sides when you're done with the waterfall stitching that will come down, and so it's really kind of cool. And I will be back in just a moment. So get this round done. This is round number 4, and hopefully you can just take your time and learn something while you're at it. When you come all the way back around, don't forget that last petal area here. This is an actual corner, so you're just maintaining the pattern as what you already know it. So what you've done in this particular format, when we did it, we've got to make sure that we have this done. So I've already done a waterfall in the very beginning, so when you finish the last section here, that last stitch is actually already done with the waterfall, with what I showed you. So now this color is officially done, and when we go to examine the work, you're going to notice that the waterfall stitching, and it takes a bit of practice, a lot of crocheters have been practicing this stitch along, is that you can stretch it out, and you can see now that this stitch work is now part of the work instead of any kind of thing that you can lift off. So that's kind of fun. So let's begin round number 5, and we're going to officially turn this into a square next. So let's go to a square format, and we're just going to switch off our color. You can decide to do whatever colors you want, it doesn't make a difference. And I want you to go into a chain 1 space, and it exists where we did those single crochet, chain 1, single into the same. Attach it, and then chain a total of 4, which will count as your first treble. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Noticing that I switch my hook back. So now I'm going to treble into the same stitch, but I'm not quite done with that yet. I want to chain 1, and then put 2 more trebles into the same one. This is your corner. So let's work my way, and my goal is just to get myself to the next corner, and you can actually physically see it. It's right there. So this is actually take 2 for me. So I got my corner in, and so the first stitch is actually here. See, this whole contraption is covering over top of the first stitch, so that's why I missed it. So the first 3 stitches in a row, including the one that's kind of hidden, is going to be a treble each. So we have 1, 2, and 3. The next 2 stitches that you're gonna run into will each be a double crochet. So just 2 in a row. So we have 1 and 2, and we're changing the heights of the stitches so that the corner can be seen. The next 3 stitches in a row will each be a half double crochet, and that's the halfway point across the side. So 1, 2, and 3. And now we're going to get bigger again. So the next 2 in a row are each gonna be a double crochet each. And then the last 3 before the corner, 1, 2, 3, is each going to be a treble. And then you're ready for the new corner, which will be in this chain 1 right here. So when you do the corner, it's going to be 2 trebles first, followed by just a chain 1, and then 2 more trebles into the same one. So when you do this next 2 treble, it's going to cover over top of that first stitch that you need, so just be cautious of that. And then I'll take you through one more side. So it's right here. So the first 3 in a row are going to be a treble each. And then we have 2 doubles, so 2 double crochet, and then the halfway point is going to be 3 half double crochets in a row. And then we're gonna get bigger again, so 2 double crochets in a row, and then the 3 remaining before this before the point is going to each be 3 treble, 1 treble in each of the 3. And then you're ready for another corner. Okay, so it's in the chain 1, it's right there. So it's going to be 2 trebles, chain 1, and 2 more trebles. So I want you to do this all the way around. This is round number 5. And we have one more round to do after this. And this is very achievable with Scrubby. It's just it's hard to see it on the camera. So you'll notice that this is going to turn square, which is awesome. And I'll be right back in a moment. So get the remaining of this round done. When you come back around, the last 3 stitches before the ending is going to be 1 treble in each of the 3. And then that's where the story ends for this round. This is round number 5. And so it suggests to change the color one more time, just slip stitch it to the top of the chain 4. So I'm gonna get rid of this color, and then I'll bring on my final color just to finalize off this project. So starting in any corner that you would like to, it's a chain 1 space corner, and you're going to attach it, chain 1, and apply 3 single crochets into that corner. Very easy round. Essentially every stitch gets something. So just remember that when you do 3 single crochets into the corner, it can kind of cover over the first stitch. So don't forget to do that, or you'll be missing a stitch if it matters to you. So you're just going to single crochet into every stitch all the way across to the corner. The corners will be 3 single crochet, and then I will see you back here in a moment to finalize, and I'll show you how to weave in the ends with the tapestry needle. So I'm coming all the way back around, and I'm just going single crocheting right to the end, and then I want to slip stitch to the beginning single crochet. So we're going to trim off the yarn now, and I want to just make sure that I get these secured. This is a dishcloth, so it's obviously going to get some wear and tear. So the less you change colors in a dishcloth sometimes the better, so that you don't have a lot of loose ends to think about falling out later. So you'll want to take your time and you want to drag it on the back side through the stitch work. The more plies that you can actually split apart, the better. So if you go just in between stitches, things will fall out. So when you go through, just literally split the plies itself, and you'll have a much better success of things not falling out on you. But always stay towards the back side so that you have a good side that's not interfered with any kind of loose ends. So you just want to drag your work, your stragglers through any loose ends that you'll have, and then what you can end up with is a really cool project. And it does have an alternative, as you see here, with the waterfall stitching, but I still think it looks pretty cool. You know, you could actually do it so this looks like a citrus. You can do lots of great things, and this is another free pattern by our friends at yarnspirations.com. And thank you so much, and we hope you have a good day.